question. He said, are you sure? You know, my understanding of this is such and such. Look, this is an example. This is the legal
Yeah, is
team.
Giuliani over the hill? Because he's kind of acting a little crazy.
Well, I don't want to say, look, I don't want to do to him what they're doing to Kanye West whenever you do something or whatever you're misspoken. I don't know if he was feeling a little too comfortable with this. I have no idea. All I know is this. Today, you have to understand and you have to master electronic advocacy, not only courtroom. Going on TV can actually change the way charges are brought.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Lionel, I got one more little clip I want to play of the because you're a lawyer and a prosecutor. I looked at HIPAA rules. I have employees. I've been through divorces, divorce. I know about HIPAA. And I know that you can go to any doctor you want and demand your medical records, the hard copies. So I want to hit this after the break. His doctor says he feels raped because Trump took his medical records. And he's sitting there changing his story now that Trump wrote the letter, which he says he wrote. So he has no credibility. But I want to ask you that in the next segment, just briefly. Mueller, you're a former prosecutor, so you can speak better to this, but just watching this train wreck and this rogue element of government, I know the branches of government, and to watch the media act like Mueller is his own fourth branch, am I wrong in what I said, or am I right, or what do you want to add to that?
Absolutely. I was just thinking, did somebody connect my brain? This is what I was saying today. Look, I got news for the world. Look, I love Sean Hannity, and Rudy Giuliani is a great guy and a great friend and a great person, but this is not a substitute for prosecution. This is terrific. And every day when I hear about somebody saying TikTok and Hillary does this and Hillary does this, well, damn it, do something. And the president is not only the commander-in-chief, but he is the head of the executive. He can walk in and say, whoever has a job, he can walk into the DOJ and says, whoever has a job, take one step forward. Not so fast, Sessions. You're out. Rosenstein, out. All of you, out. Gone. Through. I want to find out, are you going to charge Hillary Clinton with something? That's either a yes or a no. Because, Alex, she's the canary in the judicial coal mine. If she's not charged, look, how many times a week do you hear of some poor, mistaken person thrown away for 30 years on some trumped-up rape charge? We jump on people for the most monumentally insignificant crimes. We throw people away. We don't care about jurisprudence, but we're so afraid to charge Hillary with something because...
That's because she knows where the bodies are buried.
Precisely, precisely. And here's the thing, too. This may be terrific, but Rudy Giuliani, again, whom I respect on so many levels, did he understand the script last night? Did he understand he threw Trump under the bus by saying, oh, yeah, we knew all about the payoff? Yeah, he did it. It's like, wait a minute, hold it. What do you talk to each other? I mean, and I can't say it enough. I love the man, but even they don't know how to do it. Why are we going through so many in-house counsels? And if you think Flood isn't going to be subject to some kind of motion to recuse or conflict of interest, you don't think the Clintons are going to be saying, wait a minute, you're helping him?
Well, walk us through this. Walk us through this, and we'll play the Giuliani clips. And then the doctor saying he was raped because Trump got his medical records. When the doctor released that he was on Propecia, that violated HIPAA and federal law. We'll be back.
So we have even right there.
What's his name?
This is an emergency transmission from FEMA Region 6 in occupied North America.
There is a war. It's happening now. It will decide the fate of humanity. The time to choose sides has come. We are the resistance. We are the InfoWar.
Lionel of LionelMedia.com, syndicated TV host, radio host, massively successful on YouTube and Twitter, is going to be hosting this hour. And soon we're hiring more board ops and more producers. I want to talk to Lionel and a bunch of the people. We just keep waiting and waiting because it's the process of hiring and training and finishing new studios. We're very close trying to launch new programs, new syndications, and I'm very excited. We've gotten over 300 TV stations and cable networks. It's over 300 stations and something like 60, 70 cable networks. And that sounds big, but there's thousands across the country. And it is big. Some of them are main stations. Other ones are digital stations. They have extra stations now, whole feeds. Channel 9 in Houston. Phonoscope, 24 hours a day. I mean, we've been on there a couple of years, but now we're 24 hours a day. We've gotten over 100 TV stations the last 2 weeks. So we've got a lot of new radio affiliates. We never get above about 260 or so. And a lot of them are giant. Some of them are 50,000 watt AMs. They're wonderful. But the TV is going better than I thought. So that's very, very exciting. So I want to try to work with a lot of folks and launch some new broadcasts, hopefully with Lionel in the near future. But I wanted to just selfishly, because I know he's a really smart prosecutor and author and so much more, get into this. But when you read the news for 23 years and you study this and you go through things, you he's trying to dynamite the oil field fire with another explosion. And then all that does is explode even crazier. And meanwhile, they're trying to take us to war again. We've got all this crazy stuff happening. And I know Trump's approval rating, even though they try to skew it downward with oversampling Democrats, it's doubled in its support from black males. It's up in black females. In a lot of polls, he's 55%, even though they're oversampling 15 points Democrats. So Trump's super popular. The economy's coming back. He's a very pragmatic president. I wouldn't even call him a Republican, but just an Americana guy. And the left just gets more insane, more crazy. They talk with like worshipful. I used to get a little sicked out by men talking about quarterbacks worshipfully and getting little twinkles in their eyes. It wasn't even that it was gay. It was just worshipful. It was kind of sick, even though I like football. This is beyond that. I've never seen media sycophantic like, Mueller's coming. Mueller's going to get you. Oh, Mueller. Since when did the left just worship raw state rogue power, runaway special counsel? And so at this point, Trump not firing Sessions, which is the real problem there, and Rosenstein, for me, it's Trump dereliction of duty. He wants to act tough, and he's made some big moves, done great on North Korea and things. I want to believe that. But when there's dereliction of duty, that it's his office,
elected. And I said, one day he's going to bring peace to North Korea. You look at me like I was high or something. And he did it. No mention of the Nobel Prize. No mention about anything that's going on. Prisoner exchange, no Stormy Daniels. So what he's doing right now is the only firing that's going on is his own legal counsel. What's that all about? I don't understand this. It gives the impression that he doesn't know what he's doing. And by the way, we spent so much time on this Michelle Wolf story, for God's sake. I mean, that was interesting, kind of. But it seems like the mainstream media, the corporate sock puppet Ted Baxter, the echo chamber, cookie cutter, bumper sticker media, they love low-hanging fruit. They love things that are easy to decide. And look at this Avenatti, this
photobombing on. I mean, just a little creep.
Look at what, and CNN basically has had him on what, 59 times. There was a time, Alex, in the old days when CNN was it. The only time you go to CNN is when there's a plane crash, where Don Lemon will ask you whether there's a possibility that the Malaysian plane was sucked up into a black hole in our own atmosphere. Well, let's go back to this. The president owns all of this. The Department of Justice is his. And for some reason, we have reconstructed this notion of the superstructure and the hierarchy, and we've made it sound like, oh, no. If he fires Sessions or Mueller or whoever, it's grounds for impeachment. Impeachment is just a charge. If you get 51 senators or percent rather in the House, you can impeach him for being gluten intolerant. It doesn't matter.
And let's be clear, the Democrats announced yesterday, got almost no attention, it was in the Hill, they're going to run on impeachment. That's their policy. And if Trump was failing on the economy and stuff, it might work. This is so obstructionist, so insane, so out of control. And then shifting gears, we've got his lawyer. And let's cue that up. Well, first let's go to Giuliani, who's also his lawyer. And if we're looking at this, they're saying that Giuliani was going to come in and fix things in 2 weeks. Well, now we're 3 weeks later, and it looks to me like, I don't know what Giuliani's doing. It's like you said, we don't know what's going on. I know why he's firing a bunch of his lawyers, because they told him it'd be over by Christmas, that it'd be over by April, and that Mueller wasn't going to go for obstruction, and that Mueller wasn't that bad. Well, now Trump knows that he was advised right by Roger Stone and myself and others, and that the whole time they are coming after him. Can you speak to that?
Well, the thing is that Rudy was supposed to come in. Rudy was sold as follows, that Rudy knows how things work, that Rudy is respected in the Department of Justice, that he can make connections, and he has avenues, and he has a way in that other people just don't have. That's the way it was sold. But just by virtue of the appearance last night with Sean Hannity, first of all, referring to Comey as some kind of a pervert, that doesn't help anything. It also gave the people the impression that it was scattershot, it was slipshod, it was a cluster attack of nothing. I can't say this enough. What people need to understand is how profoundly unconstitutional everything is. I mean everything. It's not, how do I say this? It's not just unfair. But what Mueller has been doing, going back to dossier, do you realize, let me just give you this. So far, we only have, in terms of indictments, Alex, we have what, 4, technically? Manafort and Gates, who, by the way, predated Trump. That was Ukraine. That was before.
And they're all process issues.
Right. It was about banking, and it was about reporting and that sort of thing. Then we have Flynn.
There's one thing they fear, and it's people power. InfoWars has defeated their censorship so far only because of you spreading the links, spreading the articles, subscribing, clicking the notification buttons, and getting the articles and videos out. But they are intensifying their censorship, so now it's more important than ever to ensure we keep the First Amendment alive and well right here in America and free speech worldwide. So from Australia to countries in Africa, to Europe, to Mexico, to right here in the USA, I salute you all for taking action and defending free speech. We will prevail.
You said the money was not campaign money. I'm giving you a fact now that you don't know. It's not campaign money, no campaign violation. And I said, because they funneled through a law firm. I think we were talking about two different things there, and I want to make sure.
I was talking about the $130,000 payment,
right.
The settlement payment, which is a very regular thing for lawyers to do. The question there was, the only possible violation there would be, was it a campaign finance violation, which usually would result in a fine, by the way, not this big stormtroopers coming in and breaking down his apartment and breaking down his office. That was money that was paid by his lawyer, the way I would do out of his law firm funds or whatever funds, doesn't matter. The president reimbursed that over a period of several months.
He had said, to, I distinctly remember that he did it on his own.
He did?
Without asking.
Look, I don't know. I haven't investigated that. No reason to dispute that. No reason to dispute his recollection.
All right, that's enough. Listen, here's the deal, folks. We didn't elect a guy that's a saint when it comes to women. We all know he likes to run beauty pageants, okay? So we didn't elect him for that. We didn't think we were electing the first Baptist minister here. The woman doesn't even allege abuse. 11 years ago, she has shown herself to be a horrible political tool, following the president around, basically stalking him, in my view, politically, and dancing in whatever town the president's at outside Mar-a-Lago, which is her right to do. She has her lawyer photobombing everybody, but pulling back from this, you've got Lionel here, who's a former prosecutor, syndicated talk show host, and really a very articulate, smart guy on this front. What is the point of him going out then and even saying that? A, and then B, what about the issue of this judge that married George Soros and his third wife a couple years ago, this big Clinton operative, Hillary's, quote, favorite judge? She has all the files, which are, as you know, under federal law, only supposed to have in the FBI until it's given to the prosecutor or whatever for trial, by the unit that's involved with the information, who's tasked with it. She has it digitized, put on a federal database, and within 48 hours, all this other stuff is all, none of it's really criminal, is all over the media, and the entire political FBI is in Trump's private lawyer stuff. This is next level criminal activity, in my view.
Okay, you just asked about 20 different things, and they were all good. Let me start with this one right now. Let me give you a fact pattern. Let's assume that at some particular point, Donald Trump spoke to an FBI agent, somebody in the federal government. And there's this wonderful statute called 18 U.S.C. 1001. And it basically says you lie to the federal government, that's it. Not under oath necessarily, not in a grand jury, but the way they got Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart was never put away for, insider trading. It was because she lied. Now, let's assume after, remember what happened just now. Trump told somebody, an FBI agent, we don't know who he's talked to. He said, no, I knew nothing about this. Michael Cohen on his own. Now think about this. On his own, without even telling me, whoever does this. Imagine me being your lawyer and I say, don't tell Alex, but I'm going to pay this. And by the way, I'm going to get a second mortgage on my house. I'm going to refinance my house to pay for this amount. I'm a millionaire, but I need to refinance my house to pay for this that you don't know about. I did this without you knowing it. Now, Trump, let's assume later on, says, hey, look, I knew nothing about this. And let's assume for...
Yeah, you could argue it was Cohen, and I'm not saying Cohen did this, setting Trump up, doing that, getting in his business to pay somebody off. And we all know that's not what happened. We all know at a gut level, he's the president's lawyer. Lawyers take care of stuff. You trust your lawyer. Later they go, hey, I did this. Boom. That's how it works. It's not illegal. You're taking care of something. They're trying, but you're saying process. If Cohen's lied about anything, that's how they'll get him.
Well, what about this? What if Trump lies? What if they use Giuliani's statement right now on the Sean Hannity show? Use that as a basis to charge Trump with perjury or the violation of the statute. Because the reason why you take the Fifth Amendment, Alex, you can go into a grand jury or a setting and you can be given, under oath or whatever it is. You can speak the truth. But if somebody else contradicts what you're saying, that could be the charge of perjury. So because they don't even have the story straight.
No, I get it. And he should plead the fifth just because it's self-incrimination. But here's the problem. The president is the head of the executive, as you know, or you'd always have some other grand jury or some group rogue trying to take him down. That's why only an indictment in the House, a conviction in the Senate can remove the president. So it's all just exactly the president needs to act like the president, and his lawyers, we know, gave him bad advice.
But if Trump said to somebody, let's say in the course of something, an official authority, an official with the federal government, if he said, I knew nothing about this payment from Cohen. And Rudy just said, oh, no, he knew about it. He paid him. He, in fact, even repaid this. Now you're having basically Rudy could be the witness against Trump for perjury.
Yeah,
I mean,
you know, they may know what they're doing. It's just such a distraction with all the news we've got. What about this? Giuliani says Kushner disposable. The whole country will turn if they go after Ivanka. So what is he saying there? Like, go ahead and get him. We're not going to roll over for Kushner. And then he's saying, but don't go after Ivanka. I mean, this is crazy. Let's play that clip.
Now, if they do Ivanka, which I doubt they will, the whole country will turn on him. They're going after his daughter.
What about his son-in-law? They talked about him.
I guess Jared is a fine man. You know that. But men are, you know, disposable. But a fine woman like Ivanka, come on.
Andrew.
What does that mean? What does that even mean? What is that? Listen, like I said, you know, Alex.
I think they're signaling to Mueller, you go ahead and go after Kushner. We're going to throw him under the bus.
They're not signaling anything. If they were going to signal, they would have done this in a better way, not on national television, and not because you can hear Sean trying to rehabilitate Rudy. During the first question, he said, are you sure, you know, my understanding of this is such and such. Look, this is an example. This is the legal
Yeah, is
team.
Giuliani over the hill? Because he's kind of acting a little crazy.
Well, I don't want to say, look, I don't want to do to him what they're doing to Kanye West whenever you do something or whatever you're misspoken. I don't know if he was feeling a little too comfortable with this. I have no idea. All I know is this. Today, you have to understand and you have to master electronic advocacy, not only courtroom. Going on TV can actually change the way charges are brought. It could change the momentum.
No, you're absolutely right. So let's move to this next subject. I'm going to let you take over. You got a lot to cover. This is the doctor of the president who says that he's in great health and all this, and that no, I didn't, get told what to write. This is the truth. I wrote it. He's all testified to that. He said that a year and a half ago. Now he says, no, I dictated it over the phone, and I feel like Trump raped me because they came and got my medical records. Well, I know under law, I can go get my medical records from the doctor, anything that's digitized, like prescriptions, whatever's online. But then that's law. But if the doctor says I'm on Propecia publicly and I didn't authorize that with a HIPAA release, that's a federal crime. So it looks like the doctor to me is committing a federal crime. We're going to come back and play the clip. I'm going to get your take on this and then get out of here for you to take over because, you're a lawyer, former prosecutor. Maybe I'm wrong about HIPAA, but I've looked it up. Suddenly, so I know they put pressure on everybody that supports Trump. They've done it to me. So suddenly this guy says he hates Trump. And when I said he was on Propecia, they came and took the medical files, and I feel raped. And he's sitting there like he's this poor victim.
Why would you do this? You also have a duty as a kind of almost a physician-patient duty and privilege, though not for court purposes, to not reveal and embarrass patients. I don't get it.
Well, stay there. You're absolutely right. Actually, under the Hippocratic Oath and the law, doctors aren't supposed to reveal anything personal. So he's out here blabbering the president's personal stuff. The day after he does it, they show him, go give us the medical records, jackass. And he goes, I feel raped. And CNN headline, doctor raped.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Every morning before I start writing or shooting a video, I take 2 capsules of Brain Force for a sustainable burst of energy. This is, without question, the most powerful nootropic I've ever taken, and it comes without any of the crashes or the jitters associated with energy drinks. It's additive-free, nothing artificial. It's Brain Force Plus. Read thousands of 5-star independent reviews right now and get your Brain Force Plus at InfoWarsLife.com.